What it's saying is it's getting really good. Because it's positioning itself against humans, which is kind of terrifying.
Hi Hunters, we are the UX.movie team and we're here to talk about the top product of the day from March 14th, 2023, which was OpenAI's GPT-4. Let's get some initial reactions on their hero section per se. This is what the top of the screen looks like.
What this is saying is basically that it's starting to perform at a level that is similar to a human. And the other notable thing is that it's going to accept images as well as text. So in the past, ChatGPT has always been text-based, and this is saying it's going to start accepting images.
So the second sentence
is gigantic.
Can we rewrite that at some point?
Sure.
Because I think that would be interesting. At the end of this video, you'll see a rewritten version of this paragraph because it's really difficult to parse.
We're going to quickly roll down the page. In this landing page, it's actually a great deal of text, and it's all in paragraph form using ChatGPT-4. I actually asked it if it could give me the main points from the landing page. It talks about how OpenAI is trying to build AI products to benefit humanity. That's their mission. It's talking a little bit about how this is just the next iteration of GPT, which I did not know was generative pre-trained transformer. It is expected to be the largest model. It does provide a wide range of capabilities, and I think that's what most of the paragraphs are going to speak to in talking about translation of languages, which is really impressive. I'd be interested to see how that performs. Content creation, and then some of the controversial AI, which I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. The landing page provides technical details, and having gone through the landing page, it actually does show real stats on how GPT-4 compares to humans on major exams like the bar exam, the LSAT, etc. So that's kind of our high-level view of what it says from its own engine. But let's go back to the landing page as we start to scroll down, since we can't read the whole thing.
So it looks like this is giving history.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to say, okay, this is capabilities. Okay, now we have a chart.
So this is actually looking at how it's performing compared to
results.
GPT-3 on exams. As you scroll down, you can see the real numbers and even show more exams. It's pretty crazy. This is translation.
Different languages.
This is translation.
Neat.
I mean, that's pretty incredible.
I mean, it looks like it's hit all the major languages.
Visual inputs. I think this is going to be interesting, especially as we've talked a little bit in previous episodes about Midjourney, which is AI for pictures. I know Anthony could talk a little bit more about that, but I'd be certainly interested to see what this is going to actually show. As we start to go down, we see more benchmarks of where we're comparing steerability. So basically, you can have it teach you. So the Socratic tutor, you can say, you're the tutor, I need you to help me understand this. So if the user says, how do I solve this equation? GPT-4 is going to lead you through it. And even if the user says, just tell me the answer, it forces them to start going through and explains why the answer.
Yep. Sure.
Wow. Okay. Limitations. Let's move on. There are some limitations, it seems. Not fully reliable. It hallucinates facts. It
That's
makes
always been true.
Reasoning errors.
When it goes off and just makes stuff up.
There's obviously a lot here. Risks and mitigations. Safer. Looking to make it safer. Okay, guys, we've taken a full look basically at almost the whole page, and if you're a viewer, please go check it out if you want to read the whole thing.
It's just a lot of text in the middle of the page.
But I think that's also interesting in this particular sector.
Well, I think it's interesting because what they've done here is they have responded to the criticisms of ChatGPT 3.5, and they've done it in a very scientific feeling way. It feels more like a science journal rather than a landing page.
One of the things that I think is important with evaluating these types of pages, and I'm hoping we get more of these, is that they are actually looking at the quality of the model itself. And so a lot of this is talking to the data scientists and the people that are going to be using this in part of their application, and people with a much higher bar for how is this actually working. Showing me behind the scenes how this AI does something different than what else is out there. And I think it's interesting because this is going to be necessary if any of the other models want to compete with GPT-4. They're going to have to respond on a similar level. So I think the important thing here, just to take away from this page, is that they're not, by unintentionally, maybe intentionally, publishing this as more of a research preview, summary of results and improvements, they were able to then position this as, this is how we're moving the field forward. This is how we are defining what this field looks like. You know, the other thing that I think is interesting here is by not summarizing key takeaways, they're doing kind of what Apple does when they launch a bunch of stuff. They're leaving it to the press to be the ones that summarize the key takeaways. And so when you view this page, you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to go read about it from somebody else, not from these guys, because this paper here, this second sentence, especially in this introduction area, immediately makes me think, why am I reading this? I might not be the audience for this page. All right, so a really fascinating release by GPT-4. I think that wraps up our kind of review of this very non-standard page. Later on, I'm going to get into playing with this a little bit more and see how it lives up to some of these expectations that it's set on the landing page. But honestly, I'm just really excited about playing with this thing. So tune in for that. And
watch Anthony nerd out. You'll get some free Figma files if you check out our comments below. And you should like and subscribe because we do these all the time. And you guys get to check out our amazing insights on the product debuts on Product Hunt.
I mean, obviously this is not like something that's super easy to recraft, right?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get across a point that's really complex, which is the model has evolved to the point, or not evolved, but has gotten to the point now where it does exhibit human level performance. So you want to say that idea succinctly.
Okay. We've created GPT-4, the latest milestone in OpenAI's effort in scaling up deep learning. While less capable than humans in many real-world scenarios, GPT-4 exhibits human-level performance on various professional and academic benchmarks. Additionally, this update adds the ability to use
Image inputs.
Yeah,